I have been asked by one of you, and I wish I remembered who it was, but one of you asked me to talk about the YouTube channels that I've been watching lately, and I love this idea. I feel like I've done it before, actually, like years and years ago. It doesn't matter if I have or haven't, but I'm going to talk about 5 YouTube channels today. And I'm not going to include the obvious ones. You know, I've got friends over at Leg Life. I've got friends over at RZ Roll. Obviously, I watch my friends. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about my mom's channel. I'm not going to talk about Anthony's channel. I'm going to link everything in the description box. So if you're interested, but the people that I love, those are a given. But these are the people that I've never met in real life, like in person. So we're going to talk about 5 different channels today. The first one, Charlotte Dobé. And this one's one that my sister and my mom and I all watch together, and we've kind of got Anthony and Thomas hooked on it too. Charlotte is Canadian, and one of the things she does that we love so much is she reads Reddit stories. And I love the like Bridezilla stories, the mother-in-law stories, but she reads all kinds of different Reddit stories. And I just kind of feel like she's very candid, and I feel like her takes kind of match my takes too. Most of the time I agree with what she thinks, you know? And I appreciate that she's giving advice to the people who are asking for advice. She's also got her own subreddit now, which I guess is like totally taking off, and people in other subreddits are mad about her subreddit. There's a whole drama about it, which I think is absolutely hysterical. But Charlotte is also very funny, and sometimes she'll put skits in her videos to like reenact the story. And she's been bringing her fiance, who is actually now her husband, which is so wonderful. But sometimes she'll bring him in, and he, you know, participates in the skits or in the videos. And I really enjoy her channel. You know, it's like good vibes, even though she's talking about like other people's drama. At least it's not my drama. So I actually really enjoy her channel. So if you're interested in someone else reading Reddit stories to you, go watch Charlotte Dobé. The next channel I'm going to talk about is called Chris and Whitney in the Windy City. And we're actually friends now. We haven't met in person, but we're going to be playing D&D with, I'm going to be playing D&D with them and with Anthony and Thomas. Like, Anthony got very excited and set it up with Chris, and now we're a party and we're going to be playing D&D, and I am so excited about it. But outside of that and my fangirling, they seem like truly wonderful people, and they're also sharing a lifestyle I have never lived, which is just absolutely fascinating to me. Like, they don't have a car. They walk to work. Those are things that I could never conceive myself doing. I know I could probably do it. I love the city of Chicago, but I've never lived that life. And if I did, this is the channel I would want to watch before I moved to Chicago, just to kind of see what life in Chicago was like. Their Chicago Chronicles videos are both entertaining and educational for me, and they definitely 100% make me want to go to Chicago. Like, more than once in the last month, I've been thinking, okay, so when can I plan a trip to Chicago? I guess watching their channel has broadened my horizons and made me think about life from someone else's perspective that I've never considered before. Next channel, Jessica Braun. She started as like a makeup YouTuber, but she's become more of like a lifestyle vlogger that also talks about makeup on her channel sometimes. And I would 100% call her my comfort YouTuber. When she was just doing makeup content, I liked her and I watched her very casually, but I think the thing that made me fall in love with her channel was her family's Vlogmas videos. I find them very comforting, and they bring me so much joy, mostly because I love that time of year, but it's also really nice to just spend time with a family that is very honest and candid, and also very funny and talented and charismatic. I don't know. She's very calm herself, and she even kind of refers to herself in videos kind of jokingly as your internet big sister, which is very hilarious, but also kind of feels somewhat true. In recent videos, she's been very brutally honest about her life experiences, but she's also very protective of her family's privacy, and I have so much respect for that. And I already mentioned her family's Vlogmas videos, but I do enjoy their Vlogmas videos so much that I actually made a playlist like an ultimate playlist of just all of their Vlogmas videos that I could find, and I put them in order that they were published. And so anytime I want to watch YouTube, but there's nothing on YouTube I want to watch, I just pull up their Vlogmas playlist and I'll just try to pick it up where I left off the last time. Yeah, I really love Jessica Braun's channel. Her husband Tyler also has a channel, and it's Tyler Braun. And then they actually also have a podcast. So they also have a podcast channel. And if you like Disney, I don't think anyone likes Disney as much as they do, but the way that they talk about Disney is the way I feel like I used to feel about Disney, and it just makes me so happy that somebody loves Disney that much, and I love listening to their podcast too. So I'll link all of those channels below. Next channel, Chandler Ainsley, and I hope I'm saying her name right. This is a channel that's newer to me. I think I've been watching her about 6 months now. She's been through some stuff that I can kind of almost relate to. She's been through like a weight loss journey, but her channel is actually mostly book related. So I like listening to her talk about books. She reads mostly romance novels, so there's not a lot of overlap between the types of books we like to read, but I just like listening to people talk about books, and I also really like her personality. I love how candid she is. I really like how much she loves her pets. She's got a couple of cats. I think she's got 3 or 4 cats. And she feels very strongly for them, and I love that. She's also very honest about her, I want to call them shortcomings, but that feels a little harsh. But, you know, like she doesn't really like to cook or isn't a good cook, but she doesn't cook a lot. And she eats fast food with like a bizarre frequency, and she acknowledges those things about herself, which I feel like makes her relatable. She's also apparently completely unafraid of being entirely herself. She says exactly what she means, or at least it feels that way. And so I appreciate and admire that about her. Lastly, I want to talk about Beatrice Caruso. Beatrice, or some people call her B, she's on a weight loss journey, which I actually admire her for sharing on the internet, because it takes a lot of bravery and courage to share something so personal on the internet. And she shares a lot of details about her personal health journey and how she's feeling on the internet, and I really admire her for having that kind of courage. Her vlogs to me kind of feel like we're just, you know, hanging out as friends, but she's also invited me into that very personal part of her life, which is her weight loss journey and her health. She has chickens, which is a dream of mine, so I'm living vicariously through her. She's always like cooking and trying new recipes, and I find her to be absolutely hysterical. I love her sense of humor. I think she's very funny. I really like her videos. I like that they don't feel like a huge commitment, you know? They feel like I'm hanging out with a friend. And I do feel like if I were to meet her in person, I feel like we could be friends. And honestly, that's kind of a trend with all of these channels that I'm talking about. I feel like if I met any of these people in person, I could be friends with them. And more than that, not only could I be friends with them, but I would want to be friends with them. I would want to hang out with them and spend time with them. They all seem like candid, funny, honest, unabashedly human people. And I am grateful to every single one of these people for sharing so much of themselves on the internet with so little reserve. You know, they're all very candid about who they are, and I feel like that makes them relatable, and it makes their channels that much more enjoyable. So those are the channels I have been absolutely loving lately. Of course, I've been watching like other channels here and there, just trying to like, you know, maybe add somebody else into the mix, or maybe it's like a football channel, but that's it. That's all I've been watching lately. But I would love to know what channels you guys have been loving lately, so please leave those and comment, and you guys will see me in another video tomorrow. Bye!